Hi students, a very pleasant and warm greetings to you all. Hope you are doing good. Last session we have seen about e-commerce security systems, right? In e-commerce security systems, we have seen the introduction and then we have seen about the types of e-commerce threats, right? What are the types of e-commerce threats? Information leakage, tampering, payment frauds, malicious code threats, distributed denial of service attacks, cyber squatting, and then typopiracy, right? And then we have seen about dimensions of e-commerce security, and the elements of e-commerce are authenticity, availability, completeness, confidentiality, effectiveness, integrity, non-repudiation, privacy, reliability, reviewability, right? And then we have seen about security technologies in e-commerce transactions. There we have seen that the security technologies in this e-commerce transactions have been classified into three. They are encryption technology, authentication technology, and authentication protocol. Right? In encryption technology, we have seen about symmetric key encryption and public key. That is asymmetric key encryption. Right? In authentication technology, we have seen about digital certificates and digital signature. Right? In digital certificate, we have seen X not X.509 and PGP, that is pretty good privacy, right? And then we have seen the difference and all for digital signature and digital certificate. And then about authentication protocols, in that we have seen about SET, that is secure electronic transaction, and SSL, secure sockets layer, right? And at last we have seen about 3D secure. Why is it called 3D secure? It has three dimensions, right? It has accurate dimension, issuer dimension, and interoperability dimension, right? And today we are going to see our next chapter, electronic data interchange, right? EDI, electronic data interchange. Okay, this EDI is the exchange of business documents between the trade partners and some others, right? Between these trade partners electronically, that is, it is done through online, right? This is transferred through a dedicated channel, or it may be online itself in a predefined format without much human interventions. Humans won't be in between there. It will be sent digitally only, right? That is electronic data interchange. From that word itself, we can know that electronically the data is interchanged, right? Electronically means it is done through internet or it is done online, right? Data means any kind of document or message or anything. Interchange means it is transferred from one end to other end, right? So electronic data interchange is the exchange of business document between one trade partner and another electronically, right? This is used to transfer the documents like some notes, some invoice, purchase orders, advance ship notes, or delivery notes, or functional acknowledgement, any kind of document, right? These documents are transferred directly from a computer of the issuing company to that of the receiving company. With this saves a great time, right? This is done online, right? Since this is done online, as soon as they are sending it, from the other end they'll be receiving it, right? They are avoiding many errors of traditional on paper communication and all. If it is done in paper, if there is some issues, one have to bring it from there to here. Travel expenses will be there, paper expenses will be there. So here what happens is it is done through online, right? If they are having some issues also, they'll just contact online and they'll just solve it, right? Before the popularization of internet based e-commerce, it was major e-commerce model, right? This EDI will include the data exchange between the buyers, sellers, trade partners, and someone who is inside, that is internal data exchange within the departments of company also, right? There are many internationally accepted EDI standards, that is EDI facts, uh, XML, ANSI, ASC, X12 like this and all. Many internationally accepted EDA standards are there, right? Let's see the history of EDA. With the popularity of computers, many companies and organizations use computers to store and process the data. Okay, however, we have so many different organizations, and these different organizations use application systems, and the formats of data generated will not be same, right? Each organization or each institution will have each format of data. When organization wants to communicate for some business need or for something else, this was the time consuming one, right? Since this is done electronically, it doesn't take much time, right? A major obstacle in the business operation. This is the since this is done online, right? In order to solve this problem, some enterprises have agreed a specific standard format which can be regarded as the origin of EDI application concept, right? Like many other early information technologies, this EDI, this was also inspired by the developments in Defense Research Organization, that is Ed Gilbert. He's called as the father of EDI. Okay, Ed Gilbert. That is Guil, Gilbert. Okay, he manifested the shipping standard format, right? Like 856 or ASN and all. During 1948, Berlin Airlift and Gilbert, with his team, only developed the first standardized system for business documents. Okay, then later it influenced how document would be passed from computer to computer. The standard helped to track what was contained in the shipment, who was delivering the cargo, while not allowing language barriers and all. That's not an issue, right? Or confusing formats to delay the shipment. Here from the first itself we are seeing that it is electronic data interchange, right? Here in electronic data interchange, first they did it online, right? From uh, the seller to buyer, or from one organization to another organization, they are doing it electronically. That is, they are doing it through internet, right? So it won't take much time. It don't need paperwork and all. We'll just send it from one end and they'll receive it in other end at the same time, right? Here the main disadvantage or the main issue here they faced is the format. That means each organization or each company or each seller will have each format, means it will be delaying the shipment. That means we have to read the whole paper or read the whole document, and then we have to find what is which is the main seller, which is the what is the main process done, that and all we have to it made the shipment delay. So what happened is they gave a standardized format. That means it will have what was contained in the shipment, who was delivering the cargo, like that. The main things are written in a same place. A format is there, means for name it will have a different place. For subject it will have a different place, right? When you're having a label, it will be easy to find out, right? When you are small, you will be pasting labels in all your books and all, right? Now also you will be pasting. If you are having that label, it will be easy to find whose book it is, right? Name, a class, roll number will be there, subject will be there. When you are seeing itself, if you want the subject, we'll just see the subject column, right? So label, like label here for this EDI also, electronic data interchange also, they made a specific format. So we know if this name, subject, class, roll number is not written in this format, if it is in a paragraph or if it is in a sentence wise, means we have to read the whole thing and it will take time, right? Same way here also they did a standardized format. So whatever product or whatever exchange is done, this helps us to find the details easily, right? Soon this business and all began to realize that using this EDI will smooth the business transactions and will increase the profit, right? We all know when it is done online, when this business is taken to the next level. That means if it is done online, they'll gain profit, and the transactions also will be easy, right? These standardizations made ordering and shipping faster, more organized, and less expensive. That means since this is having the standardized order format, what will happen here? Shipping will be done faster, right? And the um, things will be organized. That means like a label, it will have the specific place for each details, right? And the expense is also less, right? Earlier EDI documents were transmitted electronically by the use of a radio, teletype, telex messages, or telephone. Okay, in ancient days and all, if you see, this EDI documents were sent electronically by using radio, teletape, telex machine, that is telex messages, through the telex messages and telephones. Okay, later in 1960s and all, shipping line, railroads, airlines, truck companies of USA were exchanging the electronic messages for their business. Okay, these messages are in different formats. Okay, so this resulted a small problem in transferring the goods. So here in 1968, these companies came together, and they itself formed a transportation data coordinating committee, and they developed the EDI standard formats, right? Here first is the document, that is the EDI documents are transmitted through with the use how they transmitted. They used radio, teletype, telex messages, or telephones, right? And then later in 1960s, they used shipping lines, railroads, airlines, and these air truck companies and all, which are in USA. They exchanged using electronic messages for the business, right? They used the electronic messaging channel to do their business, right? And then they found that there is a lot of difference in format, so it is taking time, and they developed a team called Transportation Data Coordinating Committee, and they developed the EDI standard format, right? In 1975, first EDI standard was released by this TDCC. TDCC is Transportation Data Coordinating Committee, right? Of which this Ed Gilbert was the major contributor in that the EDI standards, right? In 1977, a group of supermarket companies and their business partners began drafting and using the EDI project. Here in 1977 only, a group of supermarket companies are coming together, and their business partners and all began to draft, and they started using this EDI project, right? The TDCC is renamed as EDIA, that is Electronic Data Interchange Association, right? This TDCC, Transportation Data Coordinating Committee, this was renamed as Electronic Data Interchange Association in the year 1978. Okay, later in the year in that 1978 itself, the EDIA was undertaken by American National Standards Institute and becomes the ANSIX 12 committee. Since then this committee is responsible for the publication of all the EDI standards, right? And after that, in 1985, UN created the EDI Fact to help them with the global reach of technology in e-commerce. So this EDI Fact is the most widely used EDI, right? Here we have seen the history or the step-by-step emerging of this EDI, right? Here EDI, we know EDI is electronic data interchange, right? This is the exchange of business documents between one trade partner to another. This is done electronically, right? They transferred the documents directly from the computer of the issuing company, or from the computer of the seller to the buyer's end, right? Before the popularization of this internet based e-commerce, it was um, a major e-commerce model, right? This EDI came. After EDI came, they found that it has so many different formats, so it delayed the shipping and all. And then when this EDI came, the business partners and all thought that if you use this EDI, we'll get uh, profit soon, or this business transactions will be easy, right? So they started using this EDI, and then the shipping was also faster, it was more organized, and it was less expensive, right? So ordering is also easy, right? So this EDI documents were first traditionally transmitted, right? After that, they changed it to electronical by radio teletype, telex messages, or telephones. Okay, and then in 1960s, shipping line, railroads, airlines, and truck companies of this USA were exchanging the electronic messages for business, right? And then in 1968, all these companies came together, forming TDCC, right? Transportation Data Coordinating Committee, to develop the EDI standard form, because they found it difficult since they are having different formats, right? And then in 1975, first EDI standards was released by this TDCC, right? Transportation Data Coordinating Committee. Okay, a group of supermarket companies and their business partners started to draft, and they used this EDI project, right? And then this TDCC, Transportation Data Coordinating Committee, this name was renamed as EDIA, that is Electronic Data Interchange Association, in the year 1978, right? And then it was undertaken by American National Standards Institute, and it became American National Standard Institute, ANSIX 12 committee, right? Since this committee is responsible for publication of this EDI standards and all. After that, in 1985, this UN created this EDIFACT, that is Electronic Data Interchange Fact, to assist with the global reach of the technology. That means it is done worldwide, right? This e-commerce has taken worldwide. Since it is taken worldwide, this is the most widely used EDI, right? Are you clear about this EDI? The first EDI message was sent in the year 1965, right? From Holland American Steamship Line to Transatlantic Ship Company using the telex messages. Okay, the computer had sent a full page of information in roughly 2 minutes. These messages were then written on a magnetic tape that could be loaded onto another computer, right? In 1965, that was the first EDI message. Okay, this was sent in telex messages. After that only, we got this TDCC brought up the standard format, and in 1977 only these supermarket companies and all brought their partners, and they started doing their project, this EDA projects and all, right? We'll see the types of EDI and all in the next session. Okay, you just read this introduction of EDI and get to know about this electronic data interchange, which was carried out in the ancient period, right? Thank you for your valuable time. Stay home, stay safe, take care, bye.